In this next segment, we're going to explore two tools that are used specifically for retouching photographs: the healing brush and the spot healing brush. First of all, I want to use the spot healing brush, which is used to repair small lines or areas by matching pixel data surrounding the repair area. Okay, so that tool, all right, spot healing brush, that's the first one. It looks like a bandage that's got a little bit of a marquee around it. Okay, so we'll select that one, and in the options panel we want to make sure that we choose of course our brush size, all right, and the hardness. I'm going to bring that down so that it's much softer surrounding it. Okay, you can always change the size of the brush. Going across, we're not going to be changing the mode like a blending mode because we want to match the skin color. So the type, we want to select the Create Texture button here. Content aware, proximity match, we're not going to be using that. Create Texture is what we want. Plus, we want to turn on the checkbox that says Sample All Layers. In this way, we'll be picking up everything from itself and the original layer below it. Okay, so let's get started on that. I've got an area here in the middle, and I'm going to zoom in here. Okay, and so we got a blemish. Yeah, poor thing. You know, she needs help. And this basically is going to take the surrounding area, the texture to it, and the color, and approximate it where I'm coloring. So I want to take the surrounding area and throw it inside, and it's kind of a random, a little bit more of a random texture. Okay, so I don't want the brush to be too large, but I'm going to color around it. Okay, it looks black. Don't be alarmed. And it's just showing the area that I'm working in. Okay, release your mouse. Okay, and there it goes. It looks similar to the texture and the colors that are surrounding it. In fact, it looks like she's still got her pink tone and the freckles there. Okay, so that one's very good for even correcting some of these fine lines over here. Let's make this brush actually quite a bit smaller, using your square bracket keys to make bigger or smaller your brush. So I've got some fine lines here, and so I want to go across that maybe. Well, that's not helping her, and the reason why is look at what's surrounding it. A nice huge freckle, so I might go a little bit more from the other side and see if that works. If not, I'm going to undo it with Command Z. Okay, Command or Control Z. Let's see if this one works. Yeah, that's a little bit better. They don't need a whole lot of help. And again, small moves. All right, let's go back to another blemish that I've got in here. And I've noticed that I'm not covering her freckles. We've got two situations here. We've got blemishes, we've got moles, and we've got freckles. So I don't want to remove the freckles. And if I turn off the bottom layer, notice that there's not a whole lot here. Okay, if you've got large areas that you're covering over, yeah, it's going to look fake, and I can almost guarantee that. So next brush we want is the healing brush tool. We'll select that, and again, in our options up at the top, we want to choose the right kinds of choices here. Our source going across here is sampled. That button should be checked. Plus, if we go all the way across here to sample, it might be on current layer. We want current and below because we're working with two layers. And if we're working with more than 2 layers, then sample all the layers if you need to. Unless you're just working with, if there's more below it, but you're just working with 2 layers, the current and below. So make sure that whatever you do, that you're making your corrections on your corrections layer, that empty layer we had. Now this tool we do actually sample with. So what we want to do, this one is used to repair a patch with texture similar to the repair area. So you sample an unblemished area and apply to the repair area, and then they are blended into that area. So it's a kind of like the clone stamp tool in a way, but yet it will match the color in a better way. So I'm really liking these tools a lot. So again, to pick up an area that you want to target to bring it over into the spot you want to correct, hold your Option on a Mac, that key, or Alt on a PC. Hold that down in the area you want to select and pick that sample. Click your mouse once, release the Alt or the Option key, and go back over into the area covering over what you want to repair. So I'm just looking to see if my brush is the appropriate size here. So I'm going to go ahead and click and color that in, and you can see, yeah, it's done actually quite a nice job. It's not guessing at the texture, it's pretty much picking up what I've got over here, and the color is matching it just fine. And you can see here again, I don't have a whole lot that's covered over, all right? So don't get too drastic on these corrections, all right? So if we're going into an area that has lots of blemishes, concentrate on one at a time. And one of the things that I try to do is do some of the smaller areas surrounding a larger one. That way, anything sampled around it, especially if you're going to use the spot healing brush tool, that area around a spot healing brush tool needs to be pretty clean. So I'm going to kind of do some of these little tiny spots here. And if you don't like the results, you can Command or Control Z to undo it. Okay, and so I'm able to clean these areas up. All right, with not a whole lot of trouble. Now, again, just enough. Now, when we're working on models, supermodels, or whatever, they do tend to do more drastic changes. You can run the risk of having things be fake, but we're just looking to get rid of some of the worst stuff here, okay? And so, and again, as you can see, if I turn off the bottom layer, there's not a whole lot that I'm covering over. In fact, it's very little area that I'm covering. Okay, in the next video, I want to take care of her red eye, and we'll work on that method just in a moment.